What is up, everybody? It is your host, Scott Beatty of Beatty's Beat, live from New Jersey for the start of the Premier League Season 2 2022-23. And it's quite exciting. We're going to see Liverpool get us started against Fulham in about 12 minutes and 30 seconds. It is the first season under Klopp without Sadio Mane. I'm rocking a beautiful corner taken quickly Origi mug. Quite lovely. FIFA 95 on Sega. And welcome to my new setup. Welcome to everybody, really. Whether you've been with me before or this is your first time, I hope you'll stick with me and enjoy watching my beloved Reds. I've been a Liverpool fan since I was 4 years old. Lots of struggles, but not recently, not in the past 6 or 7 years. Manchester United is taking over the role of sufferer that I experienced, 0 to 23, I would say. But anyway, I'm getting all sidetracked. Just excited for the new season. And why don't I toss up the lineup for you all? The Liverpool lineup. Of course, we've got Alisson in goal. We've got the normal back four. Yes, Matip still our first choice center back. You've got the normal midfield now, which sometime over the last 2 seasons probably would have sounded quite bizarre to say that, a normal midfield three, but it picks itself if they're healthy. That's just who's going to be playing in midfield. And then you've got Diaz, Bobby, and Mo Salah for the front three. Flip the script there. It's kind of funny because now you're probably not going to have quite of a normal front three, whereas basically ever since Mo Salah signed, it's been the front three is Sadio, Bobby, and Mo. But obviously times change, and hopefully we'll see a bit of Darwin Nunez today. Very exciting. It is pretty funny. How things, what am I trying to say? How things just play out that, friend of the channel, Liverpool Lee was all over Darwin. Before we signed him, he did his own personal scouting and said, this is the guy we've got to get. Then, of course, when we do sign him, he's over the moon. And, not that I had any real hesitations, but I wasn't just automatically on the train right away. I wanted to see what my eyes told me. And, as Liverpool fans, Liverpool fans saw to Darwin's start, if you even count the preseason as his start, he had a couple poor first touches and wasn't looking so confident. He even admitted himself that he was very nervous to start his Liverpool career, which you kind of have to hand it to him. It's pretty honest as a player that someone would admit that, despite all scrutiny and jeering that you might receive online, but didn't look nervous in the Community Shield against City. He looked fantastic, even though he was only on the pitch for 30 minutes. And of course, the media, and I'm sure social media as well, which I've kind of been taking a break from. So it's kind of weird. I've stepped away sort of this off season, just kind of telling myself like, all right, I'll hear like the bits and pieces from the headlines, but I really hadn't been tracking football hour by hour as was my norm. So it was kind of funny because I'd see certain headlines and that Liverpool were linked with, one particular player or another, and no one that we signed, but just names that I had actually never heard of, which is pretty impressive. Because even if I haven't seen a player play, odds are I've probably heard of him. So anyway, the important thing is that we've got a new fresh season, and that is very exciting. Oh, I didn't even with my new setup, I didn't put a chat box in. So here, I'll try to monitor this, but maybe I can figure that out during halftime. Putting a chat box in, so that way you guys can get a little bit of 15 seconds of fame every time a chat goes in. It's early here on the East Coast. Source on my Twitter, which I just logged on to, saying that Bellingham to Liverpool is done. No other clubs can interfere. It's just a matter of when. Not sure if I entirely believe that. Beautiful. All right. Well, we're about 5 minutes from kickoff. Any thoughts that you all have, get them in the chat. Or if you just want to say hello, that is fine too. I will be, of course, watching the match and providing my commentary. And I hope that you'll join in the experience. If you're on YouTube, I'm only streaming to YouTube currently. In the past, I've also exported to Twitch, but I'm getting my new stream kind of in order, so we'll see if that sort of comes back in a future stream. But anyway, you're probably seeing the title of this video: Liverpool begin Premier League season away to Fulham, who are not ready. Pretty hilarious. Speaking of honesty, I was saying how I appreciated how honest Darwin was about how nervous he was for the start of his Liverpool career. Well, Marco Silva was even more honest, or I don't even know if it's honest really, as much as when managers say things like this, it's usually a call out to the board, a call to action that he needs some signings. He claims that he only has 16 senior players, so they are not ready for the season. That was the intention behind that comment. So we'll see just how ready they are. If they're ready for Liverpool, a lot of teams are not, I'm proud to say, and hopefully I'm not jinxing myself. But here are the players lined up outside Craven Cottage. This is a very, well, inside the ground, of course, but this is a cool, like, outdoor sort of tunnel sort of situation. And there's the beautiful new Premier League ball. Has like a big navy X on it. Looks pretty retro. Looks pretty similar to the miter balls of the 90s. And here are the players. They are on the pitch. They have their mascots alongside. I don't know why. Maybe this is an English versus American thing. I don't know why they call the children that accompany the players mascots. Ooh, that is a beautiful setting. What is going on here? The entire top deck that they just showed is empty. I don't know really what's happening. Maybe this is just a new stand for Fulham that just got built. Maybe it's not safe yet, because surely you would think that fans holding aloft scarves that say "we're back," that they would be excited to fill the stands. And Liverpool in town, the opening day of the season. But whatever. Still seems like the atmosphere is rocking. I'm rocking the new threads for the Reds. Just a beautiful job by Nike this year. On camera, it's looking a little bit more bright and orangey, whereas in person, it's a little bit more of not a deep red wine color, but sort of like a more of a wine red. And I just love the simplicity of it. So kudos to Nike. I'm not sure about the away and the third kits. They look a little scary, or maybe just not for my generation. I guess I'm old enough now that I can say I'm not the younger crowd that they're catering towards. But I mean, for me, it's just it's a little too busy. The white with the scribbles and all the different colors, as well as I don't know if the Liverpool third has actually been released even. Clearly, I'm still waking up because I'm talking about not so important things, but we've got 2 watching currently, or 1. We'll see. I'll just type in the chat since in the bio I put who will start. Starters. Starting XI, Allison, TAA, Matip, Virgil, Bravo, Hendo, Fab, Thiago, Diaz, Firmino, Salah. Yeah, and something that I will talk about a bit more as the match progresses is I'm very curious to see how different Liverpool will look this year. I tend to believe that we will look quite different. I was a bit surprised to hear the media saying that City signing Haaland, first Haaland mention, for those of you keeping count, that City would be undergoing more of a tactical switch than Liverpool. I mean, when watching the Community Shield, and of course, things will just continue to play out during the season. We haven't seen everything. We haven't seen anything yet, really. But in the Community Shield, I looked at City. And players are taking the knee. So let me just get my scoreboard kind of dialed up, and we are off. It is Liverpool attacking from right to left. They play it back to Matip, and he plays a ball down the left-hand side, and it is an early throw-in for Fulham down the right-hand side. I'll be curious to see Fulham as well. Mitrovic, we've seen in the Premier League, coming off of a dominant season in the Championship in the past, maybe not as dominant as he was last season. He scored 43 goals, which is an incredible tally. I don't follow the Championship enough to know whether that is record-breaking. I would have to think so. And here is Mitrovic, who takes over from a bad giveaway from Trent, and Trent's pass deflected and falls right into the path of Mitrovic. He strolls into the 18-yard area, followed closely by Fabinho, and he gets away a toe poke in a pretty dangerous position. But he is, I think, and this is the commentary that's been shared about Mitrovic, with the thoughts that he won't be able to be any sort of dominant in the Premier League due to his lack of speed. which I don't know. I will be curious. I if I had to put money on it, I think Mitrovic probably won't reach a I don't know what you'd even call it, a good or respectable level, just because when you play for a weaker team, it's very, very difficult to get those chances. And again, I won't lie, I don't even know honestly what style of player Mitrovic is. He just seems to be one of those, in between type of strikers that he's too good for the championship, not good enough for the Premier League. Is that lazy journalism for me? TBD. But yeah, I mean, even Salah, like Salah, can be the best player in the world, and yet he is not a clinical finisher. He can bury chances, but he's very much a confidence player. So, yeah, I mean, you see, my point in bringing this up is that Salah wastes chances, but it doesn't matter because not only does he get a lot of chances created for him, but he makes chances for himself. And I'm not saying that lightly. Not many players can do that. He makes something out of nothing, and we've seen him do it many, many times. Just wriggle his way through the opponent's area and score goals out of nothing. So, my point in comparing Mo Salah and Alexander Mitrovic, that doesn't happen every day, is that Mitrovic won't be getting the same amount of chances that he would at a top tier club or even a middle of the table type of club. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And also the other thing too is all the build up that you heard is that Fulham won't change their style. Credit to Marco Silva for being bold. Will he deserve credit, or will that be kind of foolish to take your talents to the Premier League and be naive or bold enough, depending on your perspective, to not take a step back and acknowledge that you may not have the talent to match some of these other teams. But I like it. I hate defensive football. I don't give credit to managers like Mourinho for being practical. I hate that. Football is entertainment, and go for it. Be bold. That Jurgen Klopp. That's what Klopp is. Klopp wouldn't be where he is today if he didn't take chances and press and put his own tactical style on things, which you get naysayers in the beginning, but anyway, back to the match. We're almost 5 minutes in, and Fulham have been taking it to Liverpool. Possession stats are probably 60% in Fulham's favor. We'll see how that progresses throughout the match. I would think, once more time goes by, that Liverpool will have the majority of the possession, but we shall see. Liverpool haven't really been able to put their foot on the ball too much. We just tried a bit of a counter-attack through the middle off of an Alisson throw and trying to move the ball pretty quickly. I think it was a midfielder playing the ball to Diaz, who was trying to take a quick turn and bolt up field, but wasn't able to establish possession and was tackled pretty strongly from the back, and Fulham won the ball back, and they're going to have a corner here from their left-hand side. Tosin Adara Boyo. I went for it, and I knew before I even started that I thought I had it, but he wears Tosin on the back of his jersey, so that isn't even helpful. But he is said to be a pretty good young talent, a City youth product. Been with Fulham for a couple of years now. I know him from Football Manager, and he is living up to his wonder kid status. Good ball playing center back. It was pretty funny to hear someone from The Athletic, I believe, I think it was a Totally Football show, one of the previews, I heard someone highlighting him and saying that he's going to be one to watch, and he'll probably, they wouldn't be surprised to see him get nabbed up by one of the bigger clubs, maybe even in January, depending on what kind of impact he shows. And here's Thiago pinging a ball to the right side. The excitement that Thiago brings meant that my voice reached a bit of a different speed and octave, but that ball went as tamelessly as possibly could be out for a goal kick. I think I could have done better with that pass, but Thiago's just getting warmed up. We shall see. We shall also see what my dialogue is following Thiago this season. I have been what I would deem an honest and others might call critical feedback of Thiago as Firmino takes a throw-in from the right back position to get Liverpool going. Ball booted forward and Salah unable to bring it down and under his control. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Thiago is in quite a purple patch of his Liverpool career. I think he's got the backing of probably 95% of Liverpool fans. He's been playing great and really showing his skills, putting them on display. I still don't think... I'm not looking for a reason to hate him. I love watching him when he's a delight to watch, but he's still... I think you have to admit that he is not, whether he plays well or not, he is not a round peg in a round hole. He's not a perfect stylistic fit in the Liverpool system, and credit to him for when he does play well. That's because his skills are just sort of overpowering, or maybe he's coachable. You wouldn't necessarily think a 30-year-old is going to adapt to a system as much, or people don't talk about it as much. Maybe that's selling a player short, and obviously Thiago's a very intelligent player, but he is sort of a foot on the ball type of player and dictates tempo, and a lot of times the Liverpool system doesn't allow for that. That's why Coutinho, although Coutinho may be a more extreme example of that, more of a ball hog, just simply did not fit in the Liverpool system, despite at that point in time most people would say he was our best player. And anyway, we know how that story goes. I don't want to digress anymore. Here is Fulham down the right hand side. I think is it Kenny Tete down the right hand side, number 2. Got 2 balls in the throw-in position. Tosin leaves it for Tete. And yeah, credit to Fulham. Strong start. 9 minutes in. Marco Silva with his 4th stint in the Premier League. That's pretty impressive. Not too much of a surprise of a stat. However, when you say it out loud, 4 teams in the Premier League, I mean, that's definitely more than most. Compared with, you wouldn't really say like Marco Silva is a mainstay type of manager as you would probably, Harry Redknapp or Big Sam. And granted, they have, many more years, as well as being English. I'm not saying that that's any sort of advantage, that English managers are smarter than others, but just purely that, you start, if you're English, you probably start in England. Whereas Marco Silva came from Greece, from Olympiacos, I believe it was, coming into Hull, and then he went to Watford, and then he went to Everton. I mean, you got to say he's done pretty well for himself. Ironically enough, he hasn't done super well in the jobs that he's gotten, but I think he definitely has a good agent / credit to him for making quite a quick impact. That he's been able to basically win himself promotions many times over, and now he's doing it the more sort of organic way, bringing Fulham up from the Championship, and that's a completely different skill, and so credit to him for doing so, and as I said, being bold and playing this sort of attacking style. It'll be interesting too because I believe, is it no, it was I'm confusing them for Forest that had like 15 loan players and only 6 of them remained with the team. So not that I knew that much about Forest to begin with, but that's a team that definitely, I mean, that's just a passive overhaul, if you will. So they'll be going through a lot of personnel changes. But what I was getting at with Fulham is personnel changes is Liverpool took another very talented at least attacking oriented midfielder away from Fulham. First it was Harvey Elliott, the gem, who's going to be Liverpool Lee, and I deeply believe that Harvey Elliott is going to be one of the finest players of his generation. High praise, but that's just how much we believe in the young Englishman. He's fantastic. I mean, I think I may have, at least for the time being, usurped Liverpool Lee on the Harvey Elliott hype train because I truly believe, and this is going to sound ridiculous to say, I don't care. I do believe this because I saw it with my own eyes, that Elliott was one of the best midfielders in the league for how long he played. Now, again, he only had 4 starts last season before he got that horrific injury. I thought it was against Chelsea, but my research yesterday told me it was Leeds. But regardless, I mean, this is just how talented and how much of a glove fit that he is for Liverpool's system. He's so mobile. He's so talented. His brain, moves so quickly, and it's just so in tune with the Liverpool engine. And he's just a different type of player. He's a more exciting player than the Liverpool midfield typically is. I think Harvey Elliott really is that sort of exciting, attacking-minded Liverpool midfielder that people want to give Thiago credit for. Elliott, again, he's so mobile and so quick with his passes and his thought that he already, despite only playing 4 games, sort of made that impact. Here's Firmino, who feeds Robbo through. He's maybe the last player I want to see. Oh, and it's Diaz that curls the ball into the back of the net, but the offside flag is up. I'm going to put the goal montage up anyway, just in case we get it. A VAR review. Oh no, it's miles offside for Robbo. Not really his fault. Not really Firmino's fault either. But that is a delicious finish by Luis Diaz, who curls it. You saw the angle. There was not too many players in his way, but he couldn't really dilly-dally on the ball too long, and you did see the angle that was sort of gaping and inviting for him, and he took it and just bulged the old onion bag, as Tommy Smith would say. But it doesn't count. And here's Joel Matip, who is going on one of his Bambi freak runs down the middle of the field. He plays it to Bobby, who feeds Mo Salah, who is joined by Joel Matip, still galloping forward, but pass is just a little bit too ambitious. What's happened here? What's my stream? No problem. Let's see. J5, is he watching? There he is. Thank you, J5. Maybe I will see you later. Maybe not. But regardless, shout out. Speaking of Johnny 5, please do go check out J5 Getting Live podcasts. Or streaming anywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. I listen on CastBox, but he is a great I shouldn't even call it up and coming podcast. It's here. 33 episodes in. New York Giants, New York Yankees, the Knicks, definitely not the Brooklyn Nets. Well, he covers the Brooklyn Nets, but he feels about the Brooklyn Nets the way I feel about PSG, and it's a pretty good comparison. But anyway, shout out to Johnny Five, Liverpool fan. Love to hear some Liverpool talk on the podcast sometime soon, but I get it. You have a lot of other topics to cover. And here's Trent with his first cross of the season, and it's from a deep position. Couldn't really find one of his desired targets. Not that there were really many Liverpool bodies in the box. 16 minutes in. Would like to see, nothing to worry about just yet, but would like to see a bit more Liverpool on the ball. Klopp is shaking his head like this. I'm not too angry, but I'm sure he'll want to see pretty much what I was getting at. Oh, wow. Maybe I'm missing. Diaz's boots look like the white and blue total 90s from like 06. But maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, and they're probably Adidas. But anyway, that was just a little bit of a surprise. And here is Trent going to play another ball in. That's a more like it from Trent. And it is Tosin that clears the ball. Let me just... I'm going to Google that last name of his. Adara Boyo. That's what we're going with. And here's Hendo that's going to play another ball. And another clear from Adara Boyo. And here is the best center back in the world, Virgil, who collects near the halfway line. All of the Liverpool players in the opponent's half. And here's Thiago, who is going to play. Oh my goodness. Not as scary as I thought, but played a bit of a lofted ball that made Alisson venture from where he was positioned to go grab it, and it was airbound. So if he hit that just a little bit harder, that was going to be one of those nightmare own goals where the player doesn't quite know where the goalkeeper is, puts a little bit too much mustard on it, and self-inflicted wound. But luckily, Alisson was able to foresee the danger and trap it. And here is Mo Salah, who's going to play a chipped ball through for Hendo, and Hendo just doesn't have the necessary speed to get there. A little bit too ambitious of a ball from Mo, but, you know, it's a little bit too optimistic to say promising, but at least the ideas are there, and, you know, get things flowing from Liverpool. Burned Leno in the Fulham goal. I'm not really sure if that's a good... I'm tempted to say that's a good signing for Fulham, but he had a pretty torrid time for Arsenal in the Premier League. So, you know, while he was a name for the Bundesliga, you know, we've seen it happen before where, you know, I don't know that there's so much depth going on in the German goalkeeping department. I sound stupid saying that because you've got Neuer and Ter Stegen. I kind of forgot about Ter Stegen for just a minute. But yeah, sometimes you get those like burnt Lenos, and who else am I thinking of from yesteryear? Like Tim Visa, WWE's own, or I don't know, I forget, the blondie that used to play for Schalke. You know, you have like some big name German keepers, but they're almost like celebrities, and then when you watch them play, they're just not as good as, you know, their name. That or maybe there's something to the Bundesliga not testing goalkeepers as much, or I don't know. But anyway, Liverpool on the ball. Virgil playing it to Robbo, plays centrally to Firmino, who finds Diaz, who's somewhat central. Diaz and Firmino. One, they're kind of difficult to pick apart on screen because they have the same haircut. Oh, and it's Trent finding Salah at the near post, who would have had to do quite a bit to divert that near post effort towards the back post, because he was a good couple yards near side to the near post. But again, at least Liverpool getting in the right positions. Pardon me. But what was I saying? Firmino and Diaz have been interchanging, quite a bit thus far, and who knows what people are thinking of Firmino's performance. Pardon me. Thus far, I think, Bobby is Bobby, and he's going to be false nine. So hopefully I don't sound too ridiculous in saying that I think that Bobby should probably stay more in the center forward role. I think we need a bit more of presence there. Jeez, sorry guys. We need a bit more presence there. Sometimes you need what Bobby brings, which is him kind of being everywhere and popping up in the defensive mid position or left back or, left wing. Whoops, sorry. Let's see. Muting myself for the cough. Fulham with a corner, and they get a flicked header heading towards the back post, and luckily a Liverpool player is there to clear it. That is one of those dangerous ones. Oh, that is why. Who's the more likely team to score here so far? If I had to put money on it, I would put money on Liverpool based on sheer talent, but based on what talent and reputation. But based on what's been shown on field thus far, I think you got to say Fulham. I'll have to check handy FOTMob to see what the XG has been. Here's Bobby on the left-hand side. Triangles. Triangles is kind of what I was getting at before when I was talking Harvey Elliott. I mean, despite, just to finish that thought from 10 minutes ago, really, Harvey was able to expected goals 0.05 to 0.02 in favor of Fulham, so not crazy, but but I'm very surprised Liverpool have 70% of the possession. 25 minutes in. I mean, it has been mostly Liverpool recently, but I guess I'm overweighting the amount of possession that Fulham had in the opening 10 minutes. And Diaz fouls Mitrovic. I think that's a bit of gamesmanship from Mitrovic getting deep to get his body in front, and then he really backs up into Diaz, and it was off balance. That's not a foul, but I see why the ref gave it. He got tricked. Who is the ref today? I didn't recognize him by face. Check the facts section. Andy Madley. I believe that is a relative of Robbie Madley. Bald referee. No Mike Dean this season. He has retired, so all his facial antics will be missed. Here's Diaz trying to keep possession, and he is fouled surely by number 7. Cabano? Was that his name? Cabano. Neeskens Cabano from the Democratic Republic. Is it an oxymoron? Of Congo. Age 30. Never heard of him. Yeah, Fulham's lineup today is what the hell? Marek Rodak? Oh, never mind. I was referring to Bernd Leno earlier. I mean, they have the same overall profile, so forgive me. And also, Rodak, never heard of him either. He's wearing the number 1 shirt. Leno is on the bench. He is number 17, apparently, for Fulham. Anyway, I'll get back to that lineup. But Robbo puts in an in-swinging left-footed cross from the left-hand side, pretty deep. Fabinho wins Liverpool a corner on the right-hand side. He is walking towards the corner flag. I don't know that I've seen that one before. He's going to drop it down. He walks the ball all the way over to sit. What a fella. And sets it down inside the corner triangle for Trent, and then makes his way back into the penalty box where he belongs. Winning headers. Hopefully a goal. I was just watching, as I was setting up the stream yesterday, a goal from him, I believe against Burnley, the opener. Oh, and Hendo takes it down on the chest and volleys it. But it is blocked. Fabinho had quite the goal-scoring tear last season. He probably ended up with like 8 Premier League goals last season. I'll have to fact-check myself there, but that's what it felt like. Including, there was like 3 games in a row where it's like, what's happening? Fabinho doesn't score goals, but apparently he does. And here is Andreas Pereira, former Manchester United player. I don't know if he was going for goal or if he just mishit that, but looked a little scary for a second. I think he was going for goal there. Or at the very least, a dangerous, very near post corner. Allison had to scamper from central of the goal towards the near post to cover the angle. And Mitrovic, actually, the more that I think of it, that was such like a dash of an attempt by Fulham there that I didn't even really analyze it too much. But Mitrovic was definitely too open for for his size and goal threat. He was pretty open at the near post. He was trying to sort of salvage the corner that was a little bit too nearsighted, but he tried to get a flick on it. It's one of those that really like crafty players like a Berbatov or something will, or a Bergkamp would, score one of those types of goals where he just has that quick 1 yard of acceleration and gets himself in position, outthinks the defender. Oh, and it's a blasted effort at the top of the box by Reed, whoever that is. But it was blocked, thankfully, by Liverpool. And here's another effort by Fulham. Cabano this time, surging down the right-hand side and plays the ball across, but can't find anybody. A lot of gegenpressing, frankly, from Fulham, winning the ball up the pitch. And as Klopp says, it's the best number 10 in the world is gegenpressing. You win a ball in such an advantageous position. You don't have to do all the hard part of passing the ball up the field or whatever. You're already in that advantageous position. Harrison Reed, age 27, English player. Never heard of him. I don't know a bunch of these Fulham players, but I'll learn. Mitrovic had almost sort of a splitsky where you worry about particularly, like a big burly player like that maybe doing his knee, but luckily he is okay. with that change of direction. Now here's Liverpool winning the ball in the Fulham half, and Hendo a bit too ambitious with that. Hendo is down, and he is clutching his ankle. That's not good. Liverpool players will want Fulham to put the ball out of play, which I'm sure they won't, nor should they. It's not a head injury. Oh, and that's the first goal of the game. It's Mitrovic. Back post cross finds Mitrovic, and the Serbian heads home. I believe that must have been over Trent. Whoever it was is not awful defending, but I would just say bad positioning. You can't let Mitrovic, beat you to a header, particularly at the back post. It's just one of those, if he gets something on it, it's a goal because, really tantalizing ball from the right-hand side from, I believe it's going to be Cabano. And we'll see if he's onside. That's a terrible angle. So we'll have to see more so. Actually, it was Kenny Tete with the ball. Cabano fed him on the overlapping run. And that even might have been a deflected effort. It is Trent at the back post who, again, it's more positioning than marking. He's right on Mitrovic. It's just his balance. He's kind of hunching and sort of keeping with Mitrovic. I mean, maybe some would consider that part of marking is getting yourself in a good position. But regardless, Mitrovic is definitely the one with the better body position. And just really a great ball to the back post by Kenny Tete. And, it's right there to be banged home. And that's exactly what Mitrovic did. And it's on Liverpool now to have our first comeback win of the season. Here they're playing the replay, and it is number 26 who steps on Paulinho. It is Paulinho who steps on Hendo's... Oh, yeah. They're just showing Cabano, who was onside. He had a couple... stutter, credit to him. He was offside before the ball was played, and then he held his run, got back onside, a little bit of a stutter step sort of thing, but he was able. You don't often see that, able to kind of hold back his run and then get onside, but also still have the momentum to, once he's onside, to continue that run forward. And Liverpool not looking good right now. Thiago loses the ball straight from the kickoff. And again, I don't know if you want to call that gegenpressing. That was a gift from Liverpool, just giving the ball to Fulham and just marching right down the field, where Liverpool's defense really wasn't... we were back, but not really set up to... You kind of have to scramble. You're not really expecting Thiago to lose the ball straight from the kickoff. He kind of stumbled and fell over, and then they just pickpocketed him and played a through ball, and luckily Liverpool was able to clean up there. But here's a nice 1-2 between Bobby and Hendo. Little back heel from Hendo to Bobby, and here's Salah dropping it to Trent, who plays a first-time lofted ball over towards Robbo, but that is cleared away by Fulham. Here's Thiago playing a chip ball out to Robbo. To Diaz. Yeah, I'm usually not a knee-jerk type of person. Certainly you'll see a bunch of fans calling for substitutions at halftime. Normally I would be someone that would disagree with that, just because, I don't know, I feel like that's very reactionary and... we're losing, we don't look good, let's sub somebody off. It sort of reads as punitive. Here's Robbo, who takes the ball down. That's the best chance of the Liverpool half. He takes the ball down from Trent, brings it down on his left peg. Nice trap. pings it across the face of goal where there were two Liverpool surging play. Oh, inside out ball by Trent. That was delicious. And maybe I said it was a nice pinged effort by Robbo. He just hit the ball straight on with the laces, and just the trajectory of that ball had to be a little bit curl it back into the path of Diaz or even Salah, who were his intended targets, but it just went out for the goal kick. Didn't have the right angle, really, but it certainly was an exciting moment for Liverpool. Here is Liverpool again on the front foot. Thiago, was getting us going. Then he did a step over and push, but got tackled by the Fulham player cleanly. Paulinho. Don't know anything about him, but he's had a pretty decent first half. As I was alluding to, here is Darwin warming up on the sideline. I think that's probably just for show, but in any case, I do think halftime might be a little bit early, but based on how we've been playing, yeah, we want to see Darwin, and I probably would take off Bobby. Sorry, Bobby, but it's not just him. There are a couple players that you probably say haven't been up to snuff so far. Not that Robbo's been playing poorly, but I just would like to see a little bit more from him. But yeah, I think Bobby, this isn't Bobby's game. I think we need to be a little bit more direct. If we were more on the front foot, maybe this would be more, there's tactically speaking, is this a Bobby game? And then there's performance Bobby, but I don't think it's really been quite either. More maybe in favor of it not being tactically Bobby's game, because I just think that we need more shape and more directness. And what an effort by Diaz. Oh, what a beautiful effort by him. He pretty much makes something out of nothing. Has the ball on his right foot, receives it, quickly shifts it onto his left, takes a quick separation touch. Oh, it's actually the opposite. He received it on his left and then, tricked the defender with his momentum, push it on to his left, and he fires an effort, hits the crossbar, and there was a little bit of a hope of effort from Liverpool on the rebound, but didn't quite come to anything. But that was Liverpool's best chance. Credit to Diaz. We need to see more of that, more of Diaz's electricity. I mean, that word and Diaz just go hand in hand. Every time he's having a great game, you just call him electric, and there's no other way to describe him. He's just fantastic. And a takeaway that I had from the Community Shield is Liverpool's looking great. We have many reasons to be excited this season. Surely, I'm sure there will be... Come on, Scott. There will be moments that we will be missing Sadio Mane. Perhaps maybe even in this match. But there will be times during the season that we'll miss him. But overall, so many reasons to be excited. Particularly Darwin looking great, as well as we're coming off of an incredible couple seasons and we have a fantastic team. So that in itself. But what I was thinking to myself coming away from the Community Shield is, great to beat City, and plenty of people will be talking about Darwin. We look great as a team, yada, yada. But I don't even think anybody will be talking about Luis Diaz from this game, and almost people forget about him because you make a flashy new signing. Hopefully he's okay here. He gets tackled and fouled by Mitrovic, who lands on his calf/ankle, and he winks there, but he is walking gingerly away, but not too gingerly, and he should be okay. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what more we'll have from Diaz as he is kind of drifting away. You saw it in Thiago's head to play a quick lofted ball over the top, and Diaz would have been onside, but maybe a little bit too obvious of a quick pass. But here's Liverpool's in the box, numbers forward. So yeah, I'm super excited to see more Luis Diaz this season. Here he is. We're going to pop him up in the corner. Yeah, he says it's going to be game over. He's almost scored 2 goals already in this match. Hopefully we'll see more in the second half or even the first. There's still 3 minutes left. So we'll see what the Reds can do. I missed it. There's some sort of infraction. Oh, Trent with a handball. Trent is one of our possibly our poorest performer in this first half, but it's okay, guys. It is okay. Liverpool fans, in particular, he is one of our best players. He's probably our most important player. He's our most irreplaceable player, and this is just how he is. You got to take the good with the bad. It is a shame because he is, I wouldn't even call him a streaky player. I think that is a phrase that can be reserved for other players, but he's not even a confidence player either. It's just he just has off game. That's just how I would put it. He has off games, and when it's bad, it's quite bad, but I mean, for the most part, he is just terrific virtually all the time. And, I mean, you've got David Beckham accuracy and crossing from a right back, and he's revolutionized the position, blah, blah, blah. You know all this already. He's phenomenal. So maybe he'll shake it out of his system. And I also think that that's, not that he's, immature in any way, but I do think that as he gets older, that just comes with more experience and more consistency. Typically, you just get that from older players. I mean, look at Millie. He's not a starter for Liverpool, but he's uber consistent, and that's what Klopp relies on him for. So, Trent's always gonna start because he just, as I said, he's so irreplaceable. But in any case, he'll get more consistent. I think over the next maybe 2 years, I think that some of those off games will kind of subside. And yeah, I mean, he's a very impactful player. I don't really know how to speak super intelligently about, how these statisticians speak about impacts on the ball over the course of a game. I think they're pretty cool charts, but typically you'll see it's almost like a word salad. You'll see like the larger print that a player's name is how big of an impact they had on the first half. Maybe I can call that up over halftime, but yeah, I mean, that's just Trent's style. Whether he's having a good game or a bad game, Trent doesn't really go missing. That's how important he is, and how eager and brave he is to get on the ball, and he wants to be creating things. And so when his passes are wayward, then you notice it. And when they're really good, you notice it too. Here's Diaz, must have been fouled there. No? There's no advantage, and the ref isn't giving it. So luckily Liverpool still in possession. 2 minutes left in the first half via stoppage time. Here is Matip, who plays a ball towards the back post for Diaz, and that was not the right option. He's hanging out with Robbo too much. The ball was floated. He was pretty open. If he was going to take an effort, he should have quickly chested, and that would have had to be super quick. A chest and like half volley sort of thing, as well as getting his balance right. He was getting closed down, but he was open enough to get a header off, but it should not have been a shot on goal, which is what he went for. It should have been a ball across the 6-yard area where the keeper can't get it. You draw the keeper out, similar to how Mitrovic scored. I even forgot that Liverpool's losing right now. Such is my confidence that we will come back and win this match. I wonder, for those that are watching, how many of you agree with me? Or what the Is it doom and gloom for Liverpool fans over halftime? Come on, it's a little early for that. Even if you are prone to doom and gloom, Liverpool Lee. Just kidding. Come on, it's the first half of the first game of the season. Surely we don't want a poor result. And I won't lie, it has not been a great performance. But you have to know that Liverpool can turn this around. Alright, enough of this crap. Enough of this crap. Replay on Mitrovic, and here's Rodak with the long goal kick. And surely there is the halftime whistle. And I'm going to take a halftime break. I suggest you do the same. Come back, and I will see you for the second half, which will be a beautiful comeback victory for the Reds. And maybe we'll see a bit of this guy. Maybe we'll see a bit of this guy. That beautiful smile. And, alright guys, I will be back shortly. Sorry I'm late. Refilling the coffee. And Darwin is still warming up on the sideline. I'm going to hide him for now. There we go. We could use a bit of this in the second half. Unless my eyes were fooling me once again, Liverpool are still favored to win this match according to the bookies, which is pretty complimentary / a little bit surprising. Although, again, that just tells you how much faith the bookmakers have in Liverpool's reputation, how strong we are mentally, and yeah, let's see it. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Consulting with Liverpool Lee over halftime, of course. He will be on future streams, but couldn't make it today. No worries. Allison evades having a scary moment, although he does pass it directly to Andres Pereira down the left-hand side. And Virgil is able to head clear. Lee told me that he could not find one positive thing to say about that first half. For myself, I think that would be hyperbole. For Lee, I know that it's not. That's actually how he feels. But I told him that my response was, this is as positive as I can make this. I've seen worse. I can't really find something specifically positive to say. But I've seen worse. So that must mean, since I've seen the worst Liverpool performance I've ever seen was worse than this, then this performance is better than that one. Not sure how, but no, anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of kidding. I do think that there are times where you watch Liverpool and we just don't have ideas and it's a low block and it's just super frustrating, and we keep knocking at the door and can't find our way through. This is not one of those times. I think Fulham, it's kind of sad to even be speaking this way, but Fulham are probably not a team that we should be struggling with as much, but that's all I'm saying. Is it's not like, oh, we're out of ideas and whatnot. We did hit the crossbar. Here's Harvey Elliott warming up. I believe he is going to come onto the pitch. Let's go, baby. As is Darwin, a double change in the 50th minute here. I love to see that. That's kind of what I was hearkening for. Darwin is probably going to come on for Bobby, and Elliott is likely to come on for Thiago, who's limping. Classic Thiago. Let's see if I can add this on the fly. I have a... let's see. Boom. I don't know if I have it here. I don't think I have it. Darn it. Darwin is coming onto the pitch. All right. And so is Harvey. Let's go. Let's go. It's Bobby off and Harvey on for Thiago. Very exciting. And so we are going to have... Oh, what's happening? This is going to show all my substitutions. No, that's not how I want it. Anyway, whatever. Forget about the graphics for now. this will be very exciting. Harvey Elliott with a kit change. Number 19 this season. I like it. Means he's. I mean, I thought the 67 was semi iconic, to use that word loosely. Obviously, you have Trent with the 66, so no shame in the higher numbers. But Harvey wanted to get more in the mainstream, so he picked out number 19. I like it. That's like Gerrard went from 28 to 17 to 8. You just kind of nudge yourself forward and more mainstream as you make more of an impact at Liverpool. And so yeah, that's Harvey signaling that he's ready to. He's inching closer to the single-digit kit numbers. Not quite ready yet, but yeah, maybe when when Millie leaves, I think Harvey will take the 7 shirt. That would be awfully exciting. But for the time being, here's Trent whipping that ball, and it's Virgil chests it, and I think Darwin was probably offside. Yes, he was, but it fell to him. If he just kind of snatched at that chance, he would have buried it into the back of the net. But he was off. Ooh, I think he was kind of offside. That angle looked like he wasn't, but it wasn't a great camera angle. Klopp is wryly smiling on the sideline. He's gonna need to see a bit more of the normal Liverpool if we're gonna turn this game around. Liverpool won each of the previous 4 opening Premier League matches, longest current run of any club. Interesting, it's not that long of a streak, but Talk Reds TV looking very sloppy. Hopefully we turn it around. I agree, sir or madam. Please, what should I call you? A name, or I can just refer to you as Talk Reds TV. Plug your own channel. Fantastic. But yeah, hey, we're all in the same boat together, rooting on the mighty Reds. Not looking so mighty thus far, but I like the spirit. We got to change something, and hopefully our super subs can make the difference. As well as something to keep in mind is, oh boy, Harvey with a stumble, and here comes, that must be Cordova Reed. He was pretty. He was a pretty good player last time in the Premier League from my memory. Pretty good counter-attacking player. But Liverpool do get the ball back here. It's Matip. Plays Salah. Salah, we need to get more on the ball. He plays a ball down the line for Trent, who plays a grass cutter cross and can't find Harvey. Oh, he plays a beautiful little chipped effort, left-footed into Harvey, who finds a pocket of space in the box. Hendo gets bodied the hell off the ball by Mitrovic. He's taking on Virgil. He cuts inside. Luckily, he's not the fastest, but he did turn Virgil, who was trying to show him one way. Mitrovic was able to change course, but not able to gallop too far beyond him. You gotta really credit Fulham here. I mean, as much as I was speaking sort of, obviously not intentionally disrespectfully. That's just the only word I can think of for the time being. Not rooted in hope is maybe another way to put it, as far as Fulham's chances of playing successfully in an attacking manner. But here's an effort. Oh, and it's off the post by Cabano. Really nice strike. He has way too much room on that. I don't know where Robbo was, but they could have doubled their lead. Okay. All right. Pereira takes a short corner, and then the short corner receiver plays it even shorter to his right back, or defensive mid. Fulham can't quite get it into the box. Here it is. Oh, they take a swivel and shot through Reed, and luckily Allison is able to pretty comfortably save that. Here is Darwin, Liverpool on the counterattack. Darwin on the right wing. Plays it centrally to find Mo Salah. A little bit of a switcheroo there. Mo Salah, we lose possession. Salah, he definitely, towards the back half of last season, just was not playing very well. And unfortunately, I think that he's going to need to have a performance to kind of bring him out of that, because I think, and sometimes I think people can unfairly point the finger and go, oh, Salah hasn't scored in X amount of games, or Salah, oh, he must not be playing super well because I'm not seeing him do a lot. Now, sometimes that's service. But, he just hasn't had this super big impact on today's game. Fabinho is making way in the 59th minute for Millie. I think what these substitutions are saying, now granted there are 5 substitutions available now, and I think that's really probably going to suit the better teams, City and Liverpool, because we have deeper teams, and then you're going to, despite making changes, still have the quality and the freshness involved to bring in the reinforcements intra-match. So I think that's what you're going to see throughout the course of the season. But I think right now, short term, I think Klopp, I don't know. Oh, and it's Diaz that wins it high up the pitch off of Tosin, and it falls to Darwin. Oh, take the shot! Take the shot! Oh, when you have an opening like that, Liverpool have to take advantage of those opportunities. He goes for the pass, and Fulham able to snuff that one out. Ali just boots the ball way up the pitch, and it stays in bounds up until about 40 yards. But Tosin with a brutal mistake there. Not even too much of a mistake. Maybe hung on to it half a second too long, and really credit the pressing from Diaz, who was able to get a deflection and win the ball up really high up the pitch. And the front three were passing the ball, interchanging, and Darwin just won too many passes. Should have just shot the ball. At least force a save, which we haven't had too many, if any. Maybe Rodak hasn't even made any saves, but that was a flashpoint in the game, and Liverpool come away with nothing from it. But to finish my thoughts on Klopp making 3 changes already before the 60th minute, Klopp isn't really so much of a pre-60th minute subber. Maybe it is due to the 5 subs now. He knows that he's still got 2 in his pocket, but I think it's probably more so that players just aren't fully fit. I mean, Klopp, who is normally one of those coaches that, here's Salah! Oh! And it's Darwin that is almost opens his Premier League account with a beautiful little back flick, but Rodak is equal to it, able to get off his line enough to not smother but block at point blank. But Liverpool knocking on the door. Hopefully the chances keep coming. Trent feeds the ball through to Darwin, who's got the high pony going. Or maybe not as a high pony, but hair straight back, and he's got the ninja style pony. Oh, that was a delicious little Cruyff attempted finish. One of those. Oh, Rodak did well, but he did do the split save where Darwin, with better luck, could have megged him for the equalizer. But beautiful. This is the spark that we need. This is exactly what Darwin was brought on to do. He is just something different, and Premier League defenders are going to have to they're going to have to study him. He's definitely a different animal to really anything that we've sort of seen. I mean, again, it's a very obvious comparison between Nunez and Holland. You know, comparing City and Liverpool personnel always happens because we're the top two anyway, as well as just the coincidence of bringing in two huge units that are very fast and very strong and very good attackers at the same time. That's definitely going to be... again, it's always the best teams in the world that set the tactical trends, and trends typically last for at least 3 or 4 years, and then typically and Harvey plays Salah through. Please have an effort on goal. Salah, and he plays it through, and it is a goal for Darwin! And this, I think he scored on the Cruyff as well. He roofs it. Another one. Darwin only scores Cruyff's. Unbelievable effort by Darwin, and what a way to open the account. You love it. You've got Salah feeding Darwin Nunez for his first Premier League goal. It starts with Matip playing the ball centrally through to someone who drops it back to Harvey. Quick thinking. And Salah puts a nice right-footed ball through. And look at that. Right-footed back peg. Cruyffs it in. Please tell me it was Darwin that finished that beauty. Oh, and it sure was. No own goal there. What a beautiful goal. As Darwin is a happy, happy boy, as are the Liverpool fans. And making the bookies look good. Equaling the score, and plenty of time left. That'll definitely put Liverpool on the front foot, and apparently VAR check. Darwin does a double fist pump and a heart and it blows a kiss to somebody. Love it. Love it. Oh man, Darwin is not disappointing on the excitement level. Look at that finish. Scope that one out, folks. Wait, what is oh, here we go. Sorry, I thought my stream was off for a second. Oh, what a beauty. What a beauty. He only scores Cruyffs. Beautiful. Woo. Unbelievable. What a start to the season, huh? Didn't I say there was plenty of reason for excitement? I've got a beautiful homemade shirt coming. Well, homemade, maybe home designed is probably the better is the better description, but yeah, you're gonna see on a future stream a quite beautiful shirt regarding Darwin and just what he's going to bring to this football club. Oh man, the pumping through the veins. You gotta love it. Darwin, ball played up to him. Oh, and he brings it down on the head. Oh, he almost scores his second. What a beautiful chance by Darwin there. I mean, it's so funny because I don't think. Listen, now is not a time to pump the brakes, but I don't think that Darwin is like a FIFA rated 99 striker. It's too early to say. Oh, he is Erling Haaland. I think Haaland definitely does have a head start in terms of his reputation, and rightly so, and such a fabulous player. But regardless, I mean, Darwin is doing absolutely nothing to dissuade the media from getting super psyched about the start to his Liverpool career. There was just a nothing ball played up to him just 45 seconds ago. He brings it down on the head. You've seen strikers do this, and their balance is off the defender. Oh, what a beauty! They just showed the replay again. Darwin is doing absolutely nothing to slow down the praise. He brings down that ball off the head, creates a bit of space, enough space where he should have had the second goal of the game, but you can't fault him for it. Everybody was converging on him, and he just needed to slide it home a bit more swiftly or whatever. And just exciting times here at Liverpool. Still need that second goal. We've got 23-ish minutes to get it. So I think I'm having some lagging issues per se. I think we're back. Anyway, here's James Milner, number 7. Played it to the back post, heads it down to Diaz. To Darwin, who knocks it down for Diaz on the volley. Has an effort. Fulham have their backs way up against the wall. And beautiful little knockdown header for Darwin. Diaz has a nice stabbed outside of the boot volley attempt, but it is a nice block by, I think that number 6, Reed. All right, left-footed corner from the left-hand side from Robbo, and it is headed away by Mitrovic. Lee texting in with a beautiful question for the stream. Did we wake up, or has Darwin changed the game? There's only one answer there. And again, I try not to get carried away with these things, but it is certainly Darwin. Maybe a little, if you want to kind of fuse the both of them, saying that Darwin has woken us up. But, I mean, Darwin has changed this game, no doubt about it. He's invigorated everybody. He's... however you want to look at it, he has really changed this game all on his own. And Liverpool definitely looking on the front foot here. Fulham have a goal kick. Mitrovic sort of wins the header, but it goes out for a Liverpool throw in. Darwin taking that iconic 27 shirt off of Divock Origi. Divock, we miss you. But just... not at the moment. We got other things going on, but Origi, Liverpool legend, by the way. Oh, no, and the ref is going to give a penalty against Virgil on Mitrovic. This must come back from VAR. This didn't look like much. I think Mitrovic hopped and fell to the ground. He's high-fiving his teammates. Hendo, Virgil, and Alisson pretty upset by this. They are coming up to whatever his name is, Andy Madley, and... I get to touch on the ball there. This must come back. This is going to be a good angle. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he didn't get the ball, but I think Mitrovic is looking for this. Oh, Virgil. I think it's a soft penalty. People are going to call me biased on that one, but Virgil didn't do himself favors by being off balance. Mitrovic was looking for it. He drew the contact. It's a manufactured penalty. It's going to stay. So let's just own up to it. And let's get Alisson, the world's number one goalkeeper, to save this one. Let's see. Let's see it. Alisson is the number one keeper in the world. All right, here we go. It is Mitrovic who's going to try and double his tally for the season, take him to 2. And Alisson, I don't know that he's ever really been a like bang the crossbar sort of keeper, but he is jumping up and down. I think he gave one bang of the crossbar. Oh, and Mitrovic does bury it. Fulham regain the lead. That is a really important momentum shift for Fulham because Liverpool, as I described Fulham, their backs way up against the wall. That is quite the momentum shift for Fulham in this game. But listen, this is Liverpool. Count them out at your own risk. There's still 18 minutes left. Again, watching highlights yesterday, trying to set up the stream and get my scoreboard right and everything. You know, I had NBC coverage from a bunch of games from last season, including Wolverhampton on the last game of the season, where we almost won the title. And unfortunately, Aston Villa couldn't stick it out for us. But anyway, my point is that went down to the 83rd minute or 87th minute, something like that, until Mo Salah scored that second goal. So in case you need a reminder, Liverpool can do this. Liverpool are used to coming back and regaining lead, or not regaining leads, but you know, snatching victory from death's grip. So let's see it again today. We need a bit of this, even though it doesn't really seem on the cards today. We need a little. Oh, I'm sorry. I did the wrong. Salah! And we could. You know, if there's one team that you think is going to be able to come back from something like this, it's...
Of course, Liverpool.
Of course, Liverpool.
Of course, Liverpool.
Okay, terrific. Here's Matip. A little weird to see him in yellow boots. I don't take Matip as sort of a flashy player, but you know, I guess it doesn't really separate you. You know, everybody wears yellow and pink and green boots these days, but it's not expected. A ball forward from Alisson to Darwin, who the ball is like not even close really to Darwin. You'd never put him favorite for one of those balls, and he like nips in for. He's so nimble is a great word for it. Despite his size, he's so quick, and he just nips right in front of Tim Ream, the center back. And let's see the penalty again. Oh, Alisson was close. Alisson, no, no shade at Alisson. I mean, it was a very good penalty. It was dispatched quite firmly and in the corner-ish, but just a lot of power to it. Here is Darwin. Oh, he had a ball over the top, which he ran onto. Little quarter volley from a pretty tough angle. He was aiming for that far post, really the only angle that he had, and it goes well wide, but can't fault him for it. Here's Fabio Carvalho, get our second ex-Fulham player onto the pitch, and I'll be curious to see who comes off and what position he plays in. Here comes young Fabio, who Klopp had some very nice words to say about in the pre-match press conference. He said he's as ready as Harvey is. People are going to have their own interpretations to that. I think some Liverpool fans out there maybe can't be faulted in having a little bit of reticence about Harvey just coming off the injury. And, we didn't really see him get back to full tilt towards the end of last season. As well as Harvey might have been being disciplined towards the end of last season, but it's Diaz, unfortunately, who makes way, and so I'm guessing that unless we're going to have a shape change, that means Carvalho will be playing left wing. Again, I kind of get a hunch of what he's like as a player, and certainly his mentality, but I'm not really sure which pegs he fits into on the Parcheesi board. I don't know, how out of normality would it be to play him as a left wing, or is he versatile enough to play there? Here's Harvey on the right-hand side, plays it up to Salah. Trent is about equal with him in terms of depth up the field. Plays the ball forward, doesn't really find Liverpool in possession, nor does it Fulham, and Fulham put it out for a Liverpool throw deep into the area. Here is Trent. He's going to find Hendo arriving on the top of the box, who curls it across towards the top of the box. But again, Liverpool can't find the possession. Won the ball back, but not really, by Trent. And Liverpool have another throw-in about 18 yards from Fulham's goal. Here is Manor Solomon, Football Manager wonder kid. He is Israeli. And he has come to Fulham. Maybe we can talk about it another time. The controversy surrounding Shakhtar Donetsk, the Ukrainian team who UEFA decided players can be freed from their contract. I think that's a very two-sided coin debate. I can totally see both sides. But here's a Liverpool corner. Front post. Oh! And it's Fabio who takes it straight out of the air about 14 yards from goal, and he tries a side-footed volley. Just the way that he lined up to that, I mean, he looks so much like Coutinho in terms, oh my god, he looks exactly like Philippe Coutinho in terms of technique, and even the backside profile, his stature and all of that. And that was well struck. It did go over the bar, but he is just one of those players that you can tell, even when they mishit something, you're like, ooh, but he struck it well, and he has very good technique. And Thiago's in that category. So we shall see. Here's Virgil, who bundles through Mitrovic. Mitrovic's such a weird player. He's kind of in that, ball through, up to Salah, and it's a goal, another equalizer. Please be onside. Salah! Please be onside. We will take it.
Salah!
He's kissing the ground. He thinks that it is going to stick. Here it is. Let's give a little commentary. You got Harvey Elliott basically at midfield, plays it through to Trent. They took a peek there. Yeah, no, that's got to be onside. The ball through, the offside check is from Trent, who at the time of the ball, both Darwin and Salah are definitely onside. Tim Ream gets ahead to it, falls to Darwin, who is off balance, puts the ball on the floor. It falls to Salah, Salah just gets himself into these positions. He's such a dangerous player that, my God, he almost the way the ball falls to him, he goes with his left foot, but the ball is going sort of in the wrong direction. It hits off of basically his heel, but he's able to just roll the ball into basically an empty net. This is both a credit to Liverpool's system that we create chances like this that just put defenses and goalkeepers in such awkward positions. It's a little bit of hyperbole to say that we create like kindergarten goals. Like, as you around the world, you might look at teams that, score goals that just don't seem to happen at the top level. But Liverpool's system creates that, as well as individually Salah, because he's just so dangerous, so nifty and creative that people it's amazing how silly Salah makes professional footballers look in the best league in the world. They just can't hang with him. And that's why so many people grapple with him and tug his jersey and foul him, is because he gets into positions like that where it's just like, how is this happening? Like, I'm commentating on this, that Salah is able to just basically roll the ball into an empty net from 12 yards, and you almost say, well, how did he get into that position? And it's the Liverpool system, and it's the creativity of Salah that a little deflection, and he's just able to roll the ball home. As soon as it falls to him, that he's equalizing for Liverpool. 83rd minute, still plenty of time left. It looked like Andy Robertson was hobbling a little bit. I thought maybe there might be a substitution coming, but Tsimikas is injured, as well as it just seems like Robertson can carry on. But here is Mo Salah down the right-hand side. Basically equivalent momentum to when it was 1-1. And again, knock on wood, I'm going to say that we're putting Fulham up, backs against the wall again. This would be a fantastic just picture. Forget about whether how viable you think it is. We have haters in the text saying that, this is going to be a bad draw for Liverpool. This is one of the, obviously lost the league by a point last season, and, this is going to be one. Forget all that. Forget it. Just picture a 3-2 Liverpool victory and think about the celebration and the mood that will put this Liverpool team in, the mood that it'll put Klopp in. Yeah, sure, he'll say that we made mistakes and whatnot. There's things to improve upon, but what a beautiful turn by Harvey Elliott. He's in the midfield. He somewhat Thiago-esque, except he does it in his own way. You lead the defender thinking that you're going one way, and then he does like a flip-flap sort of Maradona-esque turn, and he draws a foul. And if he didn't, then he would have just been on his way into acres of space in the midfield. So beautiful bit of invention by Harvey Elliott, the wonder kid, the gem for Liverpool and ex-Fulham player. The ball is back with Alisson, who plays it to Virgil. There are 5.5 minutes left in regulation, and then we shall see. Talks Reds TV. What are you thinking? Hopefully you're still with us. I want to know what your thoughts are and any predictions that you have for the remainder of today's match. Let's see. Johnny 5 giving a shout out on Twitter. Much appreciated. Let's see. You've got Milner to Salah of a throw-in, and ball is still in play. Mitrovic doing well to work back. What I was going to say earlier, and then something happened, was Mitrovic is this just... I hate players like this, where he reminds me of Drogba in that he is a house, and he should have no problems physically or anything like that, and yet he'll go to ground so easily. He's that sort of crafty in a bad way. I'm sorry, I was going to bring his nationality into this, but I won't do that. There are certain nationalities I feel like are more prone towards craftiness, but that's both not PC and probably unfair as well because, there are English players, Harry Kane, that do such things. And English players are usually not players that have a tag of doing those kinds of things. But here's Darwin being sent galloping forward. He can't quite keep his balance as he won the foot race with Tosin, but couldn't keep control of the ball. Maybe that's a little bit of an area to improve upon, is maybe his strength and his balance. But other than that, I mean, he just is so dangerous. But hopefully it remains a secret for defenders that they can be physical with him and kind of put him off. Also, perhaps just a small sample size. All right, Liverpool, 87th minute. Let's see it. Let's get the winner. One more of these.
Well, the best word I can say, but will describe this, was boom. Well, the best word I can say, but will describe this, was boom.
Working. Fulham look like they're going to be making a change. I don't know if this might be their first substitution. No, it can't be because Solomon came up. Yeah, so the interesting... Oh, there's a bit of down... Rodak's about to bang the ball upfield as he wastes some time. I think Fulham will be quite happy with a draw against the almost champions of last season. Robbo gets a little lost... loses it in the sun a bit, went up for the ball, but didn't come down with it. Whatever you think of him, Mitrovic definitely is a player that causes you issues. He's definitely I'll put him in the category of like a Solomon Rondon or Michel Antonio. He's going to, even if you're a top team, he's going to give your center backs a handful. So he's kind of somebody that gives you a bit of nightmares in the lead up to your match with him. 1 minute left in regulation. Maybe signs are pointing towards a draw, but let's see how many minutes go up on the board. Let's see. Fulham with a throw on the right-hand side, about 23 yards from Liverpool's goal. Ball gets played in pretty hopefully by Cordova Reed. Wait, am I getting this right? Are he and Bobby Reed the same person? This is telling me Bobby Reed. I don't know. All right, how many minutes will we be receiving? And the answer is still not up yet. 5 minutes. Let's go. All right, Harvey has the ball near the midfield line, going to take the throw in. All right, I was right. It is Bobby de Cordova Reed. He got a yellow card, not sure for what, but I am vindicated in having the right player. Hendo wins the ball, plays it to Matip. Ooh, he needed to win that challenge off of the pressing, I believe, Tom Carney. Not much of a number 10. But he came he does don that shirt, and he came on as a sub. Virgil plays it left towards Andy Robbo. And Matip has the ball. Come on, let's get one more chance. Just give me one more chance, and then whatever the fate will be, will be. Elliott wins the ball, plays it to Milner. Milner is almost double Harvey's age. Oh, the ball gets thrown into Salah, and there was a little sliver of a second that, really nicely done by Mitrovic. Wins the ball on the left-hand side, plays a ball around, and then... No, come on. Way too easy with the whistle, sir. Oh my god, this is freaking stupid antics. Mitrovic falls to the ground. Oh, and of course he has a cramp. Time-wasting garbage. Please add this time on. Let's play 6 or 7 minutes in stoppage. This is ridiculous. Yeah, Harvey's 19 or 20. And Milner is 37, so just about double his age. And both important members of the Liverpool squad this season. Matip wins a corner for Liverpool deep in our own area. And I'm not sure if we're going to get that chance that I've been asking for. Hendo wins the ball. I've been surprised that Hendo has made it the entire length of the game. He's usually someone that will be subbed off. Salah wins the ball down the right-hand side, but an important challenge by Anthony Robinson as he and Darwin tussle as there was a threat of a quick throw, and they allow Fulham to make his substitution. This is ridiculous. Bobby Reed is making his way off the pitch, and he's going to chew up some time. I mean, you do have to credit... I'm going to mentally end this game on a bit of a sour note because it's looking more and more like a draw. But you have to be honest and credit Fulham. I mean, fantastic performance. Who really saw this one coming? And as I said a handful of times, to be so bold and... Oh, and it's Hendo that has never hit the crossbar! Oh, takes a really ambitious effort from about 22 yards, curls it, and it was a first-timer. Is that sort of Hendo special where the ball's coming to him, and he takes it and curls it. Usually it's a cross, but he tries to basically not chip the keeper, but... lob the keeper, and it hits the crossbar. It's the second time at least that Liverpool have hit the crossbar this game. So let's take a look at the XG. The XG is probably going to tell us that no, apparently not. I don't know, maybe the XG just isn't updated, but also that XG probably was not high at all, but we did hit the crossbar. And then there was maybe a little bit of a chance with Darwin on the rebound, but defender did converge on him, wasn't able to retain possession really. Here's a ball over the top for Darwin, and it's into the hands of whatever his name is, Rodak. And I think that's going to be the end of the match. But hopefully we'll get some time added on. I don't know. The ref is looking at his watch. This is a home match for Fulham, and Fulham players are walking sort of towards the sideline. He does punt it. Ref has not blown his whistle yet. It's a ping pong of headers in Liverpool's area. Trent is going to bang the ball forward. Robinson gets ahead to it. And there is the full-time whistle. A disappointing 2-2 start. It's a long season. Everybody hold your head up. There was not the best Liverpool performance, but certainly signs to be excited about. Darwin pretty much central to all of that. And yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Please do enjoy your Saturdays, your Sundays, and that's about it. This has been Beatty's Beat. I appreciate those that have been tuning in. We've got 6 watching right now. I appreciate the strong finish. And please subscribe. Follow my Twitter. I have also at Beatty's Beat as well as at Beatty's Beat Watch, which is kind of a schedule Twitter, which will let you know when the next stream will be. I'll try to be on as much as I can this season. I am kind of a busy guy. But I hope to see you out there, and it'll be a very exciting season in the Premier League for Liverpool, for City, and for the rest of the pack. But anyway, thank you, Darwin, for creating that beautiful spark. Such a fabulous game that he had. And that's it. Signing off. Follow Beatty's Beat and catch you next time. See you later. Bye.